Hare Krishna. Question: how can devotees avoid going to the heavenly planets and us getting distracted from the path to the spiritual world? Answer: normally, only those spiritual seekers, those yogis, go to the heavenly planets who have a substantial amount of material desires which are so obsessing and distracting them that they can't focus on Krishna in a wholehearted way. So Krishna doesn't want any devotee to go away from the path to him. And Krishna will send devotees to the heavenly planets only if that is the only way to get them purified of those material desires. So if a devotee is practicing bhakti and the devotee has a lot of material desires, when we are talking about material desires, here we are not talking about sinful material desires. We are talking about material desires which may well be dharmic. So desire for artha, kama, as long as it is within the precincts of dharma, that is fulfillable by karma kanda, by going to heaven. And when those desires, if a devotee has strongly, and that and devotee also has devotional desires, so there is a battle between these devotional desires and these pious material desires, and then it is found that the pious material desire the devotee is not able to give up because of too much captivation or infatuation with them. Then the journey to heaven, which is more like a detour to heaven, that helps the devotee to get the desired material enjoyment at a scale far greater than what is possible on earth, and that fulfillment of artha and kama in the heavenly planets will over time give the devotee the realization that, oh, this doesn't make me happy, although I've got this, doesn't make me happy. And then when the devotee, as Krishna describes this trajectory in 6.41, where he states that प्राप्य पुण्यकृतान् लोकान् उषित्वा शाश्वती समः शुचिदां श्रीमतां गेहे योगो भ्रष्टो विजायते. Devotees go to heaven and then they fall back and they come back to the earth, and then in the earth, in a Brahminical family or a wealthy family, they continue their practice of bhakti. Now if devotees are practicing very seriously, then and if they are not able to complete their devotional practice in this life, they practice very seriously, and if they are able to complete their devotional practice, then the devotees can go back to Krishna at the end of this very life itself. But if not, then they will be born in devotee families, as Krishna talks about in 6.42, Athva yoginam eva kule bhavati dhimatam etadhi durlavataram loke janma didrusham. It's a very rare birth to be born in the devotee's family, and that's where the devotee's family actually helps in the birth in devotee's family helps a person to move on in devotional service. So now the question that comes up here is that how can we know our present state? So in general we can look for 2-3 things. First is, it's not that we have to be at our present stage of devotion. We may not be pure devotees and we may not be free from material desires, but there's a difference between not being free from material desires and not wanting to be free from material desires. That means we may have material desires which we want to fulfill, and we actively work to fulfill those material desires. We may have material desires which are largely functional desires, just by living in this world where certain material things are needed, and the desires for those are not necessarily material desires, they are just functional needs. And they are not going to interfere much in our devotional service and our devotional progress. And there are residual desires which we don't want, and whenever they come, we resist them. So over a period of time, the desire for Krishna will become our strongest desire. And once it becomes our strongest desire, then we will be able to move onwards steadily, and either we will, by Krishna's grace, attain him or attain birth in a family where we will be able to continue on, even if we are even if we are not get completed, we will be born in a devotee family where we can continue on in our devotional practice. Thank you. Hare Krishna.